Cinder woke that morning to the smell of coffee, eggs, bacon, and toast. When she opened her sapphire eyes, she found Spyro sitting close to her, smiling brightly with his amethyst eyes twinkling. "Good morning, beautiful," he said to her. "Good morning," she said, through a great big yawn. "What time is it? It feels earlier than usual." "Ah, well it is," Spyro admitted. "It's 8:30. "What?" Cinder exclaimed. "Why in God's name would you wake me up that early?" "We have a major mission coming up is all," Spyro answered. "Maybe it's not that major, but it's a Christmas mission, and Hugo is holding a meeting about it in 20 minutes. I brought you some breakfast to help wake up, since I know you wouldn't want to wake up without something to motivate you." "Thank you." She kissed him and took the tray. She found there was also a bagel on it, and she took the eggs and bacon and put them on it, creating one of her favorite meals, a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel. After pouring some cream onto the black coffee from the dispenser stirring, she began eating. After swallowing a bite, careful not to open her mouth as she ate it so as she did not hurt her sensitive ears, she looked back up at Spyro. "Now why would Hugo want us to wake up so early? I know he doesn't like to let us sleep, but I feel this is just ridiculous, don't you?" "A bit," Spyro said. "But hey, it's for a good cause. Some of these villages in around Skylands are poor, you know. I'd prefer to help out just a bit. Let's just hope Chaos doesn't try anything while we're bringing cheer to these children. If he does, we'll just kick his butt like last year." "True, this is a special time after all. It's our second Christmas together." Cinder smiled as she took another bite, then sipped her coffee again. "There are times I wish our lives could be simpler," she said, "but I wouldn't trade spending time with you during Christmas for the world. Now, if only if it wasn't so cold outside, I might need to wear my cloak again." Spyro nodded. He wished Cinder didn't have to worry about her lack of body heat. It was still something that he wished he could only offer attack Malfoy for. But at the same time, he wasn't going to let all those thoughts corrupt his mind. He was going to keep his thoughts clear, and he was going to think of a way of all the positive things, such as spending time with her and all of their friends, as well as bringing joy to the inhabitants of all these villages. Cinder finished her meal and coffee, then got to her feet and stretched and yawned. She felt the cold air breeze through their treehouse, and she shivered, her teeth chattering. Spyro hugged her, warming her body. She cherished the warmth and wished it would never end. When they finally did break their embrace, they heard the tap of claws against the balcony of the treehouse. Looking past Spyro, she turned around. He around to greet the newcomers. They found their best friends, Sunburn and Sonic Boom. "Morning," Sunburn greeted. "Morning to you guys," Spyro said. "How are you both?" "Great," Sonic Boom replied. "What about you two?" More than a bit tired," Cinder answered. "But I did have a nice wake-up call at the same time, thanks to Spyro." "Yeah, there were times I wish Hugo would get a better sense of timing for these meetings," Sunburn said. "He really needs to understand that some of us around here like to sleep for at least 8 hours or more." Cinder jumped off of the bed and walked to her closet, where she grabbed a cloak. Spyro had brought her for 3 months previously. It was almost black, but there was red where her chest would be located as she wore it. It was just like her scale pattern. There were also symbols in certain spots, resembling those on her forehead, around her eyes, and on her back. After putting it on, she joined her mate and friends, and together they opened their wings and flew to the meeting tent, where they were sure Hugo was waiting for them and the other Skylanders. Along the way, she noticed a beautiful decoration set up around their base of operations, the ruins. Garland, holly, multicolored lights, and statues of angels, reindeer, and even Santa Claus was arranged throughout the rows of the treehouse where the other Skylanders slept, and in the main circle where the core of light was located. Right there by the core, which was composed to the 8 main elements: magic, undead, fire, air, water, tech, earth, and life. And there was 50-foot tall Christmas tree covered in ornaments and multicolored lights. It had been provided by the Christmas tree lot near the Shattered Island. As they landed, Cinder noticed Hex, a dark elf witch who acted as in second of command of the undead element, which Cinder herself led and was one of her friends, floating in front of the tent's entrance. "Good morning, Hex," she called her. "Good morning, Cinder," Hex said. While Hex did not smile, and while her voice was monotone much of the time, Cinder had come to know when Hex was actually happy, and now was one of those times. "How are you today?" "I'm feeling really good. How about you?" "I'm good." Cinder smiled even more. Even when she saw the Skylander that trusted her the least, Slam Bam of the water element, she kept smiling, knowing it would make him angrier. He very much preferred to see her miserable. Most of the Skylanders had arrived, and they started entering the tent. Spyro, Cinder, and Sunburn and Sonic Boom did too, and they moved towards the back, where they found Hugo, a Maibu who acted as one of their main allies and a planner for the Skylanders, and Callie, a lynx-like Mabu, who is the Skylanders' trainer, healer, and constant friend, at the head of the mahogany table. They both smiled at Spyro and Cinder as they approached. "Ah, good, you're all here," Callie said. "We can all get started." Looking around, she nodded, then called out, "Captains, groups together here by our leaders." Spyro and Cinder, along with being the leaders of the Skylanders, were captains of magic, and as previously mentioned, undead respectively. Sunburn led fire, Sonic Boom led air, Gil Grunt led water, Trigger Happy led tech, Bash led earth, and Stealth Elf led life. All the 8 of them arranged themselves on the right side of the table, which the rest of the Skylanders on the left. There was barely enough room for all of them, which almost made Cinder laugh. Clearing his throat, Hugo began the meeting. "Well, good morning, Skylanders. I am sorry for waking you up so early, but it was best that you were all surprised for this. Because what Christmas is all about, right?" No one said anything. A beyond slight cough from Terrafran and many blank stares. "Okay, we need to get throughout the Skylands, either in groups or alone, to spread the Christmas cheer to other villages. There are often 15 locations where we are to accomplish this, since there are 32 of you, I think." He looked at Callie, who nodded. "So with that being many of you, I think we can be some groups of 3 and others of 2. Is there anyone here who would like to be solo?" Cinder looked around, finding Stealth Elf's hand in the air, as well as Flash Wings. Idea crossed her mind. She needed this to get Spyro's present done, and the only way she could do that was by being alone. If he was going to accompany her, then she would have little to no chance of finding time for this. "I don't want to," she thought, but in order for everything to work out as it should, it was going to have to happen. Tough, reluctant, she raised her paw to the air. She expected to see Spyro's expression be one of the surprise, but then she saw that he was smiling even brighter at her. This led her expression to be one of surprise. "Okay," Callie said. "Come to us and we'll help you find a place on the map. Some of you can use the core to get to your destination. Others can fly or get there on foot, and some of you could use Flinch's help." Cinder walked over, but others beat her to it. "Excuse me," Slam Bam said, as he cut her in line. She opened her mouth to retort, but decided it wasn't worth it. This was Christmas after all, and it was better if she were to keep her mouth shut instead of causing a problem when they were supposed to bring cheer to others. Waiting for her turn, she found herself before Callie and Hugo, and Callie smiled at her. "Where would you like to go, Cin?" she asked. Cinder looked over the map, finding many places she had visit to take in. She looked at everything over, and she found there was one location no one had touched. In fact, a part of the map, which was printed, appeared to be worn out than the rest. The name of the village on the map was Cat. "What's that village like?" she inquired them. "It looks like it hasn't been touched in a while." You're right," Callie said. "I've heard of Cat, but not that much. I think its name means happy or cheerful in some language. Maybe the Ice Elves? I don't know. But do you really want to go there? It's not really very well known, and I don't want you getting hurt, Cinder." "I know, Callie," Cinder said. "Thanks for your concern, but I think I'll be fine." "I'll go with her," Sonic Boom volunteered. "I could keep an eye on her." Cinder nodded, finding that it would be a good option. she would be able to spend time with her best friend, while also allowing her likely Eva to work on her gift for Sunburn, like Cinder was for Spyro, or buy one for them. Okay, Callie wrote their names with a blue pencil on the map. Well, that's settled. It looks like just though through the Kake forest, so I think Flynn should be the one to take you there. Go meet him by the docks. The two turned away from Callie and went to their mates. Are you sad that I'm not going with you? Cinder asked Spyro. No, I totally understand, he said. I'm just glad Sonic Boom is going with you. And I think it's a good thing for both of you do, Sunburn said. It gives you time to spend with one another, and it helps you get another area out. Just be safe, okay? The couples two embraced each other with a kiss with their respective mates. Then they parted ways, with both sharing a last I love you before departing. Cinder and Sonic Boom walked to the docks where they found Flynn and standing near his hot air balloon. Cinder thought the docks was a strange place for such a mode of transportation, but she shrugged those thoughts off and continued forward. Hey Flynn, Cinder said, we need your help if you don't mind. Sure, what is it? He asked. We need you to take us to this village called Cat, Sonic Boom said. Have you ever heard of it? Not too well, Flynn said. Both Cinder and Sonic Boom noticed he was less boisterous than usual, more mellow. Usually he was showing off his muscles, yelling boom, and rushing to on Callie no matter how many times she rebuffed his advances. Let's get going if we're going. Within the next few minutes, Cinder and Sonic Boom were in the basket, and they had taken flight. This is going to be real different, I'm sure, Sonic Boom said. Cinder saw she was very excited. She felt a similar way, just not as much. Admittedly, I have something I need to do while we're there, Cinder said. She reached into her cloak's pocket and pulled out a small box. I'm building something inside it, and I needed to be away from Spyro in order to finish it. At least I can spend some time in a new place, and with my best friend in all existence. Sonic Boom smiled and draped a ring around Cinder to keep her warm. Both continued to smile. They were sure in for a pleasant surprise. There is the forest, Sonic Boom said. I wonder what's down there. A lot of snow, I'm sure, Cinder said jokingly, leading to a laugh from Sonic Boom. Wolves and bears, too. I wonder if the village knows we're coming. I hope so. I don't want to shock the inhabitants. Soon enough, they found there was what looked like a multitude of multicolored lights from those around the ruins. The village wasn't so big, about the same size as the main area around the core back in the ruins. Ahoy up there, a scented voice called. What business do you have up here? We're Skylanders, Cinder yelled down. We've come to visit. Land here then, a voice called back. There was a flash of beautiful red and green light, and the three of them in the balloon saw a landing pad appear, previously invisible to them. Wow, Sonic Boom breathed next to Cinder. It's beautiful. Agreed, Cinder said. They landed within the next 5 minutes, and Cinder and Sonic Boom jumped out of the hot air balloon. Welcome, Skylanders, the owner of the voice they had heard previously said as he approached. Cinder saw the previous assumption of the inhabitants of Cat being ice elves had been correct. We're so glad you were able to make it, but aren't there more of you? There are, Cinder said. Many more, but we have dispersed around Skylands to visit each villages. 2 of us decided to visit here, since it appears you haven't had too many visits from us. Yeah, that's true, the Ice Elf said. I'm Fanar, the mayor of Cat, and I am glad to say we welcome the 2 of you. I'm Cinder, second in command of Skylanders and leader of the undead element, and this is Sonic Boom, my best friend, and leader of the air element, Cinder said. Tell me, what kinds of traditions do you have around here? We like to live music in the village square, Fanar said. There will be one later tonight, and I hope you 2 will attend. That would be delighted, Sonic Boom exclaimed. Great, now let's find you a room for place for the night, unless you would like to stay longer. Well, it's the 23rd, right? Cinder said. 2 days until Christmas. We would like to stay until the day after Christmas, if that's possible, just to know the inhabitants here and to work on the gifts for our mates. That would be perfectly fine. Now let's find out whom you can stay with. We don't get too many visitors, so we don't usually let anyone anyone who visits to stay with them willing individual couple, or even a family. So as long as it's not intruded upon them, Cinder found that she was beginning to shiver a bit now. Her teeth would soon chatter unless she got somewhere warm soon. There's no intrusion at all, Fenard continued. We're just happy to know the Skylanders decided to come and visit. We haven't had anything close from a visit from you since Eon came about 30 years ago. You've met Eon? Sonic Boom blurted. Wow. Yes, and he was a great man, Fenard said. What's he doing right now? We haven't seen him in quite some time, Cinder said. He went on a journey and we haven't seen him since. She then looked to Sonic Boom. While she and Spyro hadn't told most others, they felt that they could entrust their best friends with the knowledge. The village around them was decorated with many lights, and every home appeared to have a tree in their windows, snowflakes falling, and there was a soft glow in the air. Beyond the frigid air was surrounded her, Cinder thought it was just perfect. This is amazing, Cinder said through chattering teeth. Hearing this, Sonic Boom draped a wing around her. Even despite the cloak, Cinder was beginning to feel the cold more than she wished. Are you okay, Cinder? Fenard asked in a concerned tone. I don't have body heat, she answered. A result of something that occurred to me some time ago. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, in that case, we'll have to find somewhere warm for you. I know, you could stay with me and my family. Are you sure? Once again, we don't want to intrude. Oh no, you're fine. We have a spare bedroom with 2 extra beds for you and your good friend. Just make yourselves at home. Fortunately for you, here we are. This home was 2 stories tall, made of beautiful kind of wood Cinder could not identify. The lights were on inside, and Cinder immediately felt warm inside without even going inside. Fenard opened the front door and invited them in. As she stepped in, Cinder sighed in relief as she felt the warmth spreading through her body. Any cold she had felt previously was completely gone, and that made her even happier. Sonic Boom noticed this and became happier as well. Honey, I'm home, he announced, and I have visitors. Another ice elf with white hair with blue eyes like Cinder's appear. She kissed her husband before turning to the 2 newcomers. This is Cinder and Sonic Boom. They're Skylanders, and they have come to spread joy with us. He then turned back to Cinder. This is my wife, Hildar. It's so nice to meet you, Hildar, greeted. I'm so happy to spend the holidays with you. Same to you, Cinder said. The pitter-patter of tiny footsteps appear. Cinder saw 2 children, one boy resembling his father, and a girl who had her father's facial features, but her mother's hair, come running into the room. These are our children, Fenard said. The boy is Frey, and the girl is Imbella. He is 7 and she is 5. He spoke. An older ice elf entered the room. He looked to be other than Fenard or Hildar's mother and the grandchildren's grandmother. The last, but never the least, is my mother Edda. She is actually the oldest inhabitant of Cat. Children, mother, these are Cinder and Sonic Boom. They are Skylanders that have come to join us for Jol. Hi, the children said. Welcome then, Skylanders, Edda said. Welcome to our home. Now there's only a short amount of time before the concert, so I'll let you 2 have either some time alone in your rooms, or you could come and talk to us, Fenard said. Frey, can you show these 2 to their rooms? Yes, Frey said, with a bright smile that made Cinder's already large smile even larger. It brought back memories of when she used to not quite smile as much, giving her half smiles and the like. But this wasn't to remember the negative times, but rather to move on from them and see where she was now. They walked to the stairs, which was most likely wooden and some red carpeting upon every middle of them, and went up. After reaching the 2nd floor landing, Fair had led them straight down the long hallway. They approached the 3rd room on the right, which Fiora opened for them. There you go, he said. I hope you have a good time with us tonight. You make sure to have a blast. Thank you, Sonic Boom said. When he had left them alone, Cinder closed the door, looking around the room. She found a large mirror above the mahogany dresser and 2 large beds next to each other for them to sleep on. What are you gonna do with this time we have? Sonic Boom asked. Work on Spyro's gift, Cinder replied. I think I need to figure some things out with it first. You have a lot of time to do that tomorrow, don't you? I do, but I want to spend a great deal of time with Finar and his family, too. I don't want to seem like I only came here just to show them I don't want to spend time with them at all. Good point. Boom cleared her throat. Do you wish Spyro and Sunburn had joined us? A little, but I think it's for the best, since you still have a gift for Sunburn to work on, don't you? I do, but not like you, I don't think, Sonic Boom said. I was actually going to try and find something to buy for him. It's not that I don't want to make something for him, but I thought I might find an amazing gift in another area like this. That's an amazing idea, Cinder said. Thanks. For the next 30 minutes, after their conversation ended, Cinder reached into her cloak and began working on her present for Spyro. Sonic Boom watched for a little, but then decided to go downstairs. Just before leaving the bedroom, Sonic Boom turned back to Cinder. Are you going to come to the concert? Maybe, but for a moment, I need to focus on this. I'm sorry, Sonic Boom, but... Don't worry, Sonic Boom smiled brightly. I'll let them know. I'm sure they'll understand. Sonic Boom left the room and went downstairs, where she found Finar and his family getting ready. Is it time for the concert? She asked. Yes, Finar said. Is Cinder coming? She's working on a gift for her mate, Sonic Boom said. And I have to get a present for my mate too. But if there's a gift shop or something, then that's what I'm going to use. There are many, Hildar said. And I can't wait for you and Cinder to experience all of our traditions and fun we have every single year. Upstairs, Cinder had nearly finished, and she was extremely happy about that. She could go on and join them and not deal with the issue of not having her gift ready for the love of her life. Almost done, she thought. Just a bit more, and then we get to experience what I'm sure will be a unique and amazing time. She wondered if Spyro and Sunburn would end up joining them. She very much wished they would, but she did not know for sure. For all she knew, they wouldn't see them again until they got back to the ruins. But at least she would be able to spend time with her best friend in all of existence. And as she went back to work on the present, she smiled. Meanwhile, Sonic Boom and Finar and his family had arrived at the concert hall where the musical event would take place. The hall was red and gold, with red curtains draped in front of the stage. By this point, a large number of ice elves had arrived, and all of them waiting on Finar apparently. He smiled at Sonic Boom and she went to the stage. The curtains opened up and he jumped on. Welcome, my favorite people. We are gathered here today for a grand time of the music of fellowship. Tonight, we have two very special guests, two Skylanders that have joined us to bring in the Christmas cheer. One will come a bit later, but we have one right now. Come up here, Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom was a little reluctant, but she decided it was for the best, so she walked up on there and stood next to Finar. Hello, she said, as Finar said, my name is Sonic Boom, and I'm one of the Skylanders. I'm the captain of the air element, and my mate is the captain of the fire element. We have strived to make Skylands a better place for every single one of you, and it's so amazing to be here tonight. I am glad to be here, and I hope your Christmas is better than before. There was a smattering of applause, and she jumped off stage. When Finar had finished his speech and the concert began, Sonic Boom got into it and nodded her head and swayed along to the beautiful music. She felt upon her shoulder as she turned around to find Cinder standing there. There you are, Sonic Boom said. She hugged her. Did you get everything done? Yes, I did, Cinder said with a great big smile. After all this, are you going to try and find something for Sunburn? Yeah. And so they continued to listen to the concert. When everything was done, the two of them walked away from Finar and his family once they had told him what they were doing. Come back soon, Finar called after him. We have a great surprise for when you get back. The two of them actually eventually found a store that sold cards and gifts, and they entered. Hello, the store owner said, an older ice elf woman with short white hair and rosy cheeks, with very visible upon her blue skin, greeted as they walked in. What can I help you find? I'm looking for a gift for my mate, Sonic Boom explained. Something I feel would make him extremely happy while also not costing a fortune. She laughed a little at least that part, which the elf woman laughed too. Well, just a couple days ago we've got this. She reached towards a large shelf behind her, grabbing what appeared to be a snow globe. Sonic Boom grabbed it and looked at it. Both she and Cinder watched as the snowman appeared when she shook it, followed by the two shadows of a couple that shared a kiss in front of the snowman. Pink hearts appeared above the lovers. This is perfect, Sonic Boom exclaimed. I'll take it, but first I need to try to find the card. After doing that, and then paying for both, Sonic Boom and Cinder left the store. I can't believe I was able to find such a perfect gift so quickly, Sonic Boom said to Cinder. Maybe it's not as impressive as your gift. Are you kidding? Cinder said. Yours is perfect. Just because one gift is more iterate than the other doesn't mean that your mate will find it that way, and you shouldn't find it to be that way either. Yours is perfect for you and Sunburn. With that, the two of them trotted happily back to the Fanar's home. It was there that they found a grand feast laid out for them. We will have another amazing feast for you on the 25th, if you're staying that long, Fanar explained. But I thought this would be a good time to tell you what we do. In fact, do some things differently around here. Like what? Cinder inquired. Tomorrow is a day that we exchange presents, Edda answered. That's different, but we're also a completely different region than we're used to, Cinder said. So that's not too weird. We're glad, Hilda said. Would you stay here till the 25th, though? We'd love for you to try our favorite dish this time of year, roast lamb. That sounds delicious, Sonic Boom nearly shouted. I'd happy to stay till then. So would I, Cinder said. Of course we'll have to make sure that our mates are fine with something like that. Which is perfectly understandable, Fanar said. After taking a few more minutes, Cinder and Sonic Boom sat down to eat. The meal was truly delicious, and after dessert consisting of what the family called leaf bread and glasses of milk, they decorated the tree with the family, as well as Fanar explaining it was different from so many other traditions. But Cinder and Sonic Boom were just happy to take part. The night came to an end with all of them talking around the fire. We thank you so much hospitality, Cinder finally said as she sipped her coffee made by her for Hilda. I never thought we would have this to be such an amazing time. We're so happy to have had you, Fanar said. Are you planning on going to bed soon? Yes, Cinder said. Sonic Boom and I were able to get our gifts bought and finished, respectively, so I think we're going to retire for the night. That is understandable, Fanar said. We'll wake you up in time for our exchange gifts. I pray that you will sleep well. As Cinder and Sonic Boom started their way up the stairs after telling everyone good night, Fanar said, Will you share some words with the village tomorrow, Cinder? Sure, Cinder said, though she was nervous due to not knowing what to say to the village. What exactly should she say? Thank you, was all Fanar responded with, and with that, Cinder and Sonic Boom made their way up to their room. There they fell asleep rather fast, not before hugging and saying Merry Christmas to one another. Cinder closed her eyes, still nervous, but managed to smile, thinking of surprising her mate with the special gift she had made for him. That morning, Cinder and Sonic Boom were awoken by Hilda, who told them the exchange of presents was about to begin. We don't always exchange gifts this early, but we thought it would be nice to be able to do it as long as you in the morning to honor our guests, she explained. You didn't have to do that, Cinder said. We would have happily waited. That's sweet of you, but we're also have a great ideal of work that has to be done as the leaders of the village, she said. And it's also easier to get the exchange out of the way so we can spend more time with each other during Jolodagr, Christmas Day. When they had reached the landing on the first floor, they had found a number of presents. Now, a present under a tree. Mother, would you be kindly past the first present? Fanar asked Edda. Why, of course, Edda said. She grabbed the small square present, then looked at the tag and handed it to Freyr. When he opened it, he found a toy plane within the wrappings. Wow, he exclaimed. This is great. The exchange continued, with Cinder and Sonic Boom helping as well. Most of the presents had been exchanged when Fanar grabbed two behind the tree. We wanted to honor our guests, he said. The two of you have been amazing guests and good friends, so we went out and bought you these gifts as you slept last night and early this morning. Cinder was about to say that the family didn't need to do that, but she thought otherwise and just accepted it. Thank you, she said. She opened the wrappings in the box with which was the present was located and found a sweater within it. It was black and red, just like her scale pattern. It was very similar to the cloak she wore, only with the difference being the lack of representations of her natural markings. But that did not matter, because this was one of the best gifts she had ever been given. "Thank you very much," she said, tears filling her eyes. "I'll cherish it forever." Looking over to Sonic Boom, she found the Griffiness that had been gifted a similar sweater, although it was emerald green in the place of red on Cinder's. "Thank you," she breathed, her eyes wide. "You're both very welcome," Benar said. "You've been a blessing, and we wanted to return the favor." After the exchange, they had to go their separate ways. Benar explained that he needed to go to the office with Hildor in order to look over the important papers that came along with being the mayor of the village like this. "You'll be entering the village square with Edda and the children," Benar said. "You'll be giving out gifts when the time comes." "We will do the very best," Cinder promised. "I know you will," Vinder said. After parting ways, Cinder and Sonic Boom, now wearing their sweaters with great pride, which had their presents for their mates, were also located following Edda, Frey, and Mbala to the square, where the beautiful Christmas tree was located. Even more ice elves than before were assembled around the stage just in front of the tree. "Now it is your time," Edda said to Cinder. "You said you would make a speech, and now is that time." She smiled at her. Cinder swallowed, still feeling nervous. But she knew she could do it, and so with the happiness from earlier and the thoughts of Spyro and her friends fueling her, she went up to the stage and cleared her throat before beginning. "My name is Cinder," she said. "I know that you do not know me, but I believe one of the best parts of Christmas is spending cheer here to even those who do not know you. I think we all needed that, especially when we have felt down at times in our lives." She sighed during the trepidation that came with revealing parts of her past, but she knew now it was the right time to say it. "For the first 15 years of my life, I was unexperienced to do something as beautiful as Christmas, because I was kidnapped as an egg by an evil monster. But I was freed by the love of my life, and I have cherished Christmas ever since then. In fact, this is my second Christmas after being freed, and while Spyro is not here now, I will be happy to give my gift to him. I am honored to be here, and I thank you for accepting me. I hope you all have a great Christmas, and God bless everyone." With that, she got off stage, with a great deal of applause, followed by the end of her words. She was surprised by this, but all heartened at the same time. When she reached her spot by Sonic Boom, Edda, and the rest of the children, she found Edda crying. "That was beautiful, dear," she said. "It was," a familiar voice spoke from behind Cinder. She swirled around to not only find Spyro, but Sunburn also standing there. They were both smiling wide, and the pairs of mates embraced and then kissed passionately. "What are you doing here?" Cinder asked. "I thought you were somewhere else." "We were the group of 5, but then we asked to do this. They were fine with it, so we came to see you two," Spyro answered. "Merry Christmas, my love." "Merry Christmas to you," she replied. She reached into the pocket of her sweater and retrieved her gift. They usually give out gifts on what we call Christmas Eve, so I think it's best to give you this now. The small present she had made for him was a small music box. It had their initials carved on top, SXC. As Spyro touched it, he opened it, and beautiful music began playing. 2 small figures popped up, attached their inner workings of the music box, and moved in a circle around the music box. "Wow," Spyro said. "Sin, this is amazing." He hugged her again, this time even harder. "Thank you so much." "And I got this for you," Sonic Boom said to Sunburn, handing him the snow globe. He beheld it, and when he saw it once he shook it, tears streamed through his feathers. "That's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen," he said, "but the most beautiful will always be you." After they embraced as well, he reached over to a saddlebag neither Cinder nor Sonic Boom had noticed before. He unzipped it and took out a large emerald, and Cinder thought it might be just the most beautiful emerald she had ever seen. "This is for you," Sunburn said to Sonic Boom. "Maybe it's not much, but I thought of honoring our love with something I thought represented your beauty. Callie found this emerald while traveling through the underworld and gave it to me. Now I gave it to you." Sonic Boom thought it was one of the best as gifts she had ever been seen. "It's perfect," she said as she hugged him again. "Thank you." As for Spyro, he retrieved what appeared to be a painting from the saddlebag. When he gave it to Cinder, he saw it was a depiction of the two of them, embracing during what looked like a life-mate ceremony. "I painted it myself," Spyro said. "I thought it was perfect representation of my love for you." "Funny enough, we didn't even mean to copy each other," Sunburn said. "It just happened." "This is truly beautiful," Cinder said. "I couldn't ask for anything more than this. Thank you." After the exchange of gifts, Cinder introduced Spyro and Sunburn to Edda, Frere, and Mbala. After this, they started helping with the passing out the other gifts and collected from their homes by the organizers of this exchange. It took a great deal of time to finish this, but as she watched the children around smile, laugh, and play with all their toys, Cinder felt her heart triple in size, even though it was quite enlarged from the happiness she had felt when she was found all around her. This was the kind of happiness she had never experienced before, and when she explained it to Spyro, he said he felt the same exact way. Benar soon arrived with Hilda, and when he met Spyro and Sunburn, he said, "Your mates brought us so much joy. Would you like to join us for our grand feast tomorrow?" "Yes," Spyro said. The rest of the day was spent helping others out with their presents, or cleaning up after the great ideal of partying that followed. When the day came to an end, they returned to Finar's home. "Thank you for all you have done," Finar said to them, after a little more partying at home. "You're welcome," Cinder said. "Thank you for all you've done." A few hours later, Spyro, Cinder, Sunburn, and Sonic Boom were in the room on the second floor. Both Sunburn and Sonic Boom had fallen asleep already, but Spyro and Cinder remained awake for just a little longer. "Thank you for everything," Cinder said to Spyro. "Thank you," Spyro said, "for making it even more possible. Your big heart made so much of this possible, yet another reason to love you. You never stop surprising me, Sin." "Gelatos as to mim," Cinder said. "What?" "Merry Christmas, my love." With that, they curled up together, and Cinder smiled, because both of their cheer she had brought to Cat, and because she was able to spend time with the love of her life after all. Having used the memories of that beautiful Christmas to fuel herself again, and despite the many setbacks, Cinder wiped a tear from her eye just as the flap to the tent opened and Sonic Boom entered. "Cinder?" the Griffiness asked. "You okay?" "Yes," Cinder said. "Are the Skylanders ready?" "They are." "Then let's get things started." Despite the wounds she had suffered, she's moved forward, allowing that beautiful Christmas memory to give her the strength to continue. With that, everything would work out as it should, and she thought, "I'm coming, Spyro." Wow, I could definitely say this was a really awesome and amazing um, Skylanders story. And that, my pretties, was a Skylanders Christmas Tale, The Greatest Gifts. A Skylanders fanfiction, Christmas fanfiction, written by CynderFanForever. Now, this one was written about 5 years ago, and I definitely do have to say it's a really good story. So I definitely really enjoyed this a whole lot. I thought it was a really neat and well done story. I personally definitely have to say is that it's a great story. Now, I definitely do have to really say, I love Skylanders. I haven't, pretty much, I haven't sit there and played the Skylanders games in a long time, but I definitely do have to say it was a really cute story. I personally really like the plot line of it, sitting there and, Cinder goes with her best friend to, do stuff for, get stuff ready for their mates for Christmas. I definitely do have to say, I ship Cinder and Spyro. I know a lot of people seem to do that, especially in the Skylanders community. That's what a lot of people tend to do. And as for Sonic Boom and Sunburst, I could see that being the case because, I definitely ship those two as well. But I can definitely say Spyro and Cinder are my favorite ships. So, I definitely do have to say is that this was an awesome story. I personally really enjoyed this a whole lot. I thought this story was really well done. It was perfect, really well made. I do have to say the grammar was pretty good, but I did notice, that here and there in the story, there were a couple grammatical errors in the story, so there's a couple of those that need to be fixed. And there was only a few punctuation errors that I also did notice about this story, so that's another thing I did want to point out. But other than that, the story was readable and it was definitely a really fun story. So, I mean, I might consider doing more Skylander stories in the future if I could find some good ones that I like personally. So I want to give a shout out to CynderFan and for this story. So shout out to the author for making this story. This was really awesome. I definitely would read this again. Fantastic story. It's really well done. Now, despite the few grammatical errors that I did notice in this story and a few punctuation errors, they could be fixed up, which shouldn't be a problem. But I definitely do have to say, I really enjoyed this story. I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, I guess with that being the case, and with that being said, like I'm just gonna say, this is just simply my own personal opinion, and if you happen to disagree with it, that's perfectly fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions in regards to these stories. This is just simply my own personal thoughts. I give this story a 10 out of 10. It's a really amazing, well done story. I personally really liked it a whole lot. I thought it was really good and well done. So, anyways, with that being said and that being the case, what did you guys personally think of this story? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally to help make this story a lot better? Sure. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. I'm pretty much Shadow the Lion Queen. Thank you so much for watching today's video. And if you're new to my channel, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications to when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. As always, if you guys want to go follow me on Blue Sky, follow me on Twitter, follow me on DeviantArt, and follow me on my backup channel known as Miss Dark Shigo, as links to those will be in the About page section, so that way you guys can go follow me on those. And yeah, that's a really awesome story. I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can go check out this story if you haven't. And I do want to give a shout out to the author, so go support the author as well. And as always, this was a pretty good story. So, like always, I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace out. And like always, roll the outro because I'm out.
What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video. And I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications to when I upload, so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Miss Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, please stay pretty.